Hey, so here I am with another comic book note show. Um, I didn't do one last week because I was out helping out with the protest for Jimmy Kimmel. Um, and that went really well, didn't it? Yeah, I was down at Disney Studios last week and doing my part, as part of the unions. And so I didn't really have time to do one. But I did buy some books last week, as you saw in my little shorts. Um, I gotta stay saying all the time. Just got done reading Metamorpho miniseries by writer Al Ewing. I think it's just like his first work for DC. And Stephen Lieber, who I found I have as a Facebook friend. It was a fun series. Enjoyed it. I got to read this one. I got to read these ones tonight before I go to bed. And we're going to start with Aquaman Sunday. I'm gonna go over the Marvel Solicitations, since I'm not gonna be in a comic book store for 3 weeks, and because I got the Genesis box set coming out to replace this. I'm getting the Atmos mix of this tomorrow. This is the set that came out in 2007 or so, of the all the remasters they did for every Genesis album. And I have them in three. I have all the studio albums in 3 cases. You can see the last of the Hackett errors in here, and we got the Phil Collins error in this box. But I'm excited to hear that, Natmos. If you read my Purple Pinup Guru blog, I have an entry on that blog where I tried to pitch a Lamb Lies Down Broadway comic book series, which got quickly shot down by their manager. And I detail all the conceptual sketches in there, and my plot outline for 4 issues, which never came to fruition. And but I enjoyed working on that project. So here at Marvel, this is for December 2025. I'm gonna do them online. It's hard. I don't know what it is with my comic shop lately. They get these catalogs in, and they're all given out by the time I get around to getting my books now. So I missed out on November's. So I'm gonna start doing them online, I guess. So with Marvel, they're gonna be ending the Ultimate Universe in some capacity. I know, just like the Absolute line in DC, the writers are contracted to do 2 years, and Jonathan Hickman is ending his run on Ultimate Spider-Man, I think, with issue 24. As you know, these books are told in real time, so a month will pass between issues, and so far we get this special here. I guess it's the Ultimate Universe 2 years in, written by the guy who's doing Ultimates, Dennis Camp, and that's going to be ending. And I assume Black Panther will be ending with issue 24. After this, they said that the Ultimates is going to keep going on, so there might be other new titles introduced when 2026 comes around. I don't know. I might be cutting bait on a lot of new comics this year. It's I thought I got it down to a science of keeping it down to like 10 titles from each publisher from DC and Marvel and maybe 10 independents, but it ain't working out the way I want it to, and stuff comes out that you have to have the being feared of FOMO'd, and I might have to cut bait from just buying new comics altogether because I need to go back to my projects. Um, I want to bring back Deposit Man in a comic strip form rather than do it a comic book per se, and I need money to do that. I need to set aside money to do that to pay my artists and stuff. So, Endgame is I guess is the signifies the end of the ultimate line in some capacity, even though they say it's going to continue on in some other form. So you got these other things happening with the X-Men. I don't know what's going on there. They're redoing the Apocalypse thing again, where it's I'm still confused with what titles I'm gonna follow, because they're the regular titles like X-Men, Uncanny X-Men are suspended to do this mishigosh, and I mean, like, Jed McKay is doing this X-Men book Revelation. He's the regular writer on X-Men, so this probably is X-Men technically, issues of X-Men just under a different title. Laurel Kinney Sabretooth. Yeah, see, Last Wolverine is so much of it. I can't believe what. Okay, here's another one. Amazing X-Men #3. That's, I guess that's technically X-Men too. And who is Gail Simone doing? What books is Simone book? Okay, she's doing Unbreakable X-Men. So this is her, technically her Uncanny X-Men run, just under a different name. Why they go through this whole Age of Apocalypse thing? I mean, I should just skip the whole freaking thing altogether. Just give myself a break. And X-Vengers, so much of it. There's just so much of it. How many people expect the people to buy all this stuff? Tony Fleece, he's the guy who writes Stray Dogs, right? I guess he's a Marvel writer now, huh? Long Shots, okay, Jonathan Hickman's involved with this. I'll probably pick that up. Iron and Frost. Oh, okay. This is Iron Man. They ended Iron Man again with issue 10. I read that one last week. What that ties in with the One World Under Doom storyline, and somehow Iron Man couldn't fit the bill of finishing his own book within the storyline, and so they just they canceled it again, and now they're bringing back Iron Man along with his ex-wife, or is he still his wife? Emma Frost, the White Queen or whatever. And there's another book Jed McKay is doing next one, this Age of Revelation thing. Oh man, what's this Meals to Astonish thing? What is this? Oh boy. Oh, okay. I read about this. Okay, they're doing like Marvel cookbooks now, where they're doing comic books to demonstrate how to cook certain meals and stuff. Please stop it. This is Sorcerer Supreme, writer M, artist M. What does that tell you? The Sorcerer Supreme is dead. Long live the Sorcerer Supreme. And And there is a new Doctor Strange title, which is nice. Derek Lanley's doing it. He got done reading his Doctor Strange of Asgard. I thought that was pretty good. And they had a one shot that followed with it. It was Doctor Strange 450. I guess this picks up where he left off in that book. So yeah, I'm down for that one. Wicken Road, no. Okay, so last month, November, I guess is to be the last issue of One World Under Doom, and this is the one shot Aftermath, not written by Ryan North. So Captain America's still going on, and Chip Zdarsky is writing that book. And I have 3 issues in the queue to do the read of that, and I'll probably have 6 by the time this book is released. The end 2009 one. I'm not following the 2009 stuff anymore. That's 1990s. They want their 2099 line back. Hawks smash everything. What did this entail? This is Ryan North. This is going to be 2 Hulk books now? Venom. Let's see. Planet She-Hulk. And who's writing Planet She-Hulk here? Stephanie Phillips. That's a big no. I have a one-shot that Jonathan Hickman wrote that sets this whole thing up, but beyond that, I'm not interested. Black Panther Intergalactic. Didn't we just finish this stuff? I mean, didn't they do this stuff 2 years ago? Why is it going back into space for? Oh, again, Jonathan Hickman wrote a one shot of this that sets this whole premise up. Nova Centurion. Another book that Jonathan Hickman set up for other people to take the ball and run with. And X-Men Apocalypse, nope, don't want it. Now I'm on the fence about this. Now that I see that J. Michael Straczynski is involved. What's that about? Says something like 1602 or something. I don't know. Here's Daredevil versus the Punisher, and that's written by Jimmy Palmiotti. Is he or Joe Quesadilla that shares the same birthday with me? I don't know. Infernal Hulk by Philip Kenny Johnson, which I assume this is now the book is now been renamed again from the Incredible Hulk. What's going on with Amazing Spider-Man? There's a new Spider-Man, or it's technically the old Spider-Man, but it's kind of convoluted what they're doing with Spider-Man now. With the writer Joe Kelly, he split Spider-Man in 2. There was a big battle with this new villain called Hellgate that resulted in Spidey getting transported to into space, and he becomes a space version of Spider-Man. So I guess it's Space Spidey. And but while on Earth, Norman Osborn takes up the reins of being Earth Spidey, and it's interesting. John Romita Jr., I guess, is coming back. They switch off the teams. It's one guy's Pepe. Somebody is doing an arc, and because the book comes out 2 weeks. The book is a bi-weekly schedule, so they switch off teams a lot. They do a handoff. Pepe's doing one arc, then it switches over to John Romita Jr. and he does another arc, and such as Spider-Man Noir now 3 of 5, and Eric Larson's writing it. Hopefully this will be in time. I hope by the time this book comes out that there will be announced that the MGM Plus series will be up and running with good old Nicolas Cage in the title role. Michael Straczynski is doing another Amazing Spider-Man miniseries called Torn. I'll probably be interested in reading that. Miles Morales, I have no need for. Black Cat, I have no need for. Spider-Girl, I got the first issue, and that's good enough for me. Just to see if it increases in value. But tackling her first appearance in Spider-Boy is probably it's worth up to $30, I think. Last time I saw it on my hip comic site, it was Spider-Man and Wolverine. No. Winter Break Special. I hate these. I was into them for a while and I just stopped because they just cost too much money. Marvel Zombies. Oh, I'm watching the first episode this weekend. There's 4 episodes on Disney Plus. Good thing I didn't unsubscribe from Disney Plus and Hulu during the thing, because it's probably been a pain in the ass to sign back on. Plus they're jacking up the price next month. In lieu of what they did the Jimmy Kimmel show. They had to, like I said, like someone commented, worst timing ever, right? To jack up your price on Disney, where you lost so many people that it cost a nearly $4 billion drop in stocks. Marvel Knights Punisher, yeah. Is this red banded? There's a red band edition of Punisher. I got the first issue of recently. Fantastic Four. Ryan North is doing a stellar job. I mean, I'm kind of starting to like it more than Dan Slott's work on it. The third issue I recently read was pretty good. With the fight with Doctor Doom and how they used what idea they came up to defeat him, or set his plans back, at least, because he's still regarded as the emperor. But when I left off reading it, what's going on in the Avengers 33, something I don't know what direction it's going to. Kang is back. That's interesting. New Avengers December. Oh, I thought this was gonna be a 5-issue series, man. I'm not a big fan of Sam Humphries' writing. I just not into. I might have to cut bait on that one. Battle World, no. Mortal Thor, yes. Yes, I'm still into that book. I've yet to read the final issue of the Immortal Thor. Strange Tales. What is this about? Why are they? Who did this stupid looking cover? Let's see. Undead Iron Fist. I picked up the first issue of that last week. Moon Knight's still going strong. Number 15, Fisher Khonshu. Dig it. Simile edition. Wow. That seems like it's a big bunch of tie-ins this month. and I'll probably be saving a lot of money. Stuff I just don't feel I need. What else? And there comes the Star Wars stuff. Jedi Knights. Yeah, I don't invest in Star Wars books anymore. They just, unless you got a variant cover or something, they don't rise up in value. Star Wars, it's up to issue 8. The omnibus, there's Ultimate Fantastic Four, which you can find in any dollar bin. So it's probably more. You probably save a lot more money if you just buy the individual issues from secondhand stores. I mean, I found a whole box of them over in Chatsworth. Well, there are some key issues, but for most of the run, it's relatively cheap. Thunderbolt Dark Reign Omnibus, another series you can probably find in your dollar bin boxes. What's this thing here? Return of the Monster Omnibus. And what run is this? These were Bruce Jones' run. Huh. What else? Darken Wolverine. I'm using, by the way, Heidi McDonald's Comics Beat website. The only two websites I trust in the comic book industry, and it's Heidi's blog, Comics Beat, or Bleeding Cool. Bleeding Cool usually gets the scoops first, and he gets harangued, and or Rich Johnson, he gets harangued for some of the scoops he gets, because they're, I don't know, he just posts them up without verifying, and people get mad at him. They say nasty things about him online. Especially that Thinking Critical guy. Holy cow, he goes on a whole tirade about him. What else? These are just a bunch of trade paperbacks. Plus, you know, if the route I'm gonna go, if I just jump ship on just getting comic books on a weekly basis whatsoever, you know, then it's good to know that the trade paperbacks are not too far behind, right? You know, and I'm a Barnes & Noble member, so you get, you know, whatever percent they're offering off the book plus the extra 10%. Hold on, I gotta show you what I picked up the other. I gotta show you guys what I picked up the other day. I couldn't resist it. I'm gonna make it part of my Sunday night DVD Blu-ray lineup TV shows. There's this stuff I'm watching now. I picked up relatively cheap. This is great stuff. Halo, that's gonna be in there. But this thing here, Dark Winds, great damn good show. Yeah, look at that. Starsky and Hutch. I got this for half price plus an extra 10%. I think it was like it came out like $30 or something for the entire series of Starsky and Hutch. Yeah, just couldn't turn that down. Okay, back to this. So Imperial trade paperback. Wow. So how many issues they collect in here? Oh, the entire series, man. Why didn't I just wait for this to come out? This is all Jonathan Hickman's work on these things, and he collaborates with other writers, but he's got Imperial 1 through 4, which I have. I think I only have two or three of them. Plus these one shots I have: Nova, Centurion, She-Hulk, Imperial Guardians, Imperial War Exiles, Imperial War Black Panther. I knew those are like 30-page stories there, so you're getting a lot of buck here. And how much is this going to retail for? $35. I don't know. Helverine. I got his first appearance. That's good enough for me. Well, Gwenpool, absolutely not. I just finished reading these last week, or it was a couple of days ago. Actually, I read them. Last Tuesday. 2 days ago, I read them. Fantastic Four fanfare, and some of the stories are good. I mean, you gotta hope. I mean, roughly it's 3 stories per issue, 10 pages a piece. So you have 12 stories, 12 fantastic little Fantastic Four minis, shorts, and some were good. And Werewolf by Night, I just heard this got canceled. I was really into it. Another it's a problem that that guy Wes in Thinking Critical. He did a video of all these series that just ended, that couldn't even make it to issue 10 without getting canceled. And it seems like that's the mode these days with Marvel. They do these series that doesn't last less than a year, and they've been collected in paperback already. And they falsely promote it as ongoing series when technically they're all limited series. So what's going on with that? Let's see. This Hulk thing. These like the Red Hulk stories? Oh yeah, Incredible Adventures of the Green Hulks. Jeez, my memory is sharp on these things. These epic collections, people like these. These paperback color reprints. I guess if you feel they don't, a lot of these books you can find in dollar bins. You feel like you have a big collection for them. They're modestly priced, right? And not as modestly priced as those little compact ones, but we'll see what they got going this month in that format. Because I've been tempted to buy some of those because they're only $10 a piece, but they're printed like half size. So I'm going to be on the cusp of turning 62 years old, and it gets really hard to read these small print books nowadays. I mean, I can pick up a small comic book these days, and have trouble reading because the eyesight is just not what it's used to, right? And I should be getting glasses since I should invest in some getting glasses. I'm getting up there. I'm like I said, if you read my blog, last blog entry, I ended it on a note where I went to get an ID card. We call it the real ID card, and these a-holes at DMV had to put senior citizen on them. And I'm only 61 years old, man. What are you putting? That's just foreshadowing. Who knows if I'll make it to 65, right? So there I have it. Next week I'll be back doing the DC ones, December solicitations, and whatever else I can get my hands on. Once again, I'm not going for back to my comic book store until the middle of next month, because of this whole Genesis box set thing coming in. It's $125 for this box set. Plus, I'm getting a Blu-ray of the Beat concert that I went to last year with my roommate and his brother. Beat is it's half of the original 80s Crimson lineup with Steve Vai on guitar and the drummer from Tool, Danny something. I can't think of his name right now. And that's coming out. The show that we went to, was actually filmed for a Blu-ray release. So I'm excited to see that as a souvenir. And I'm getting a remastered version of our dear departed Yes drummer Alan White's only solo album called Ramshackled, and that's coming out in a new edition, remastered edition. So it's like $200 I'm spending on just albums alone. I don't know how much that Beat Blu-ray is going to go for. How much is it? Because it's 2 CDs and a Blu-ray, so that might be cost me $40 or $50, and the ramshackle thing's only like $20. So I'm seeing $200 there. So and since I'm only in comic books, I mean my last comic book bill was well, when I accumulate 3 weeks, it came out to over $200, and I've been keeping it under $200, but somehow I went almost close to $250, and I got to reevaluate this whole thing all over again. I'm only want to collect 10 titles from Marvel and 10 from DC, and 10 independents. That's 30 titles a month, but yet I came back with 60 freaking books last month. What am I going to do, man? All right, so I'll talk to you guys next week. All right. Good night.